What's going on, everybody? Welcome on in to this late edition of TTP Sports. The Phillies have won their fifth game in a row, and they've already won the series in Colorado against the Rockies. They won last night, they won today, and Ranger Suarez is returned from his IL stint. And, they've been playing a lot better baseball as of late. The bullpen stepped up in this game. Ranger Suarez, I thought overall was solid. Definitely with his off-speed pitches, it lacked a little bit of the command there. The fastball velocity was there. It was good. It was pinpoint. Got into a little bit of jams, but he managed to work out of those situations. Bullpen was huge, especially when you don't have Jose Alvarado. You're going to have to mix and match a little bit because, Rob Thompson doesn't like to use multiple guys, 2 days in a row and everything like that. So for tonight's ball game, you didn't have Sir Anthony. You didn't have Craig Kimbrell because those guys pitched last night. You had to rely on guys like, Bilotti, Brogdon for 2 innings, Hoffman in the 8th inning. You also had to rely on Gregory Soto in the 9th inning, and he did a fine job of it. And you got the insurance runs when they mattered, and that was the most important thing that you could possibly ask for. In terms of last night's ball game, it was basically just everything was going by so quickly. The game was going by so fast. It wasn't until the 6th to 7th inning before a run was scored. Both teams were just swinging at first pitches. Innings were going by in minutes. Taijuan Walker, in my honest opinion, probably had his best start of the season. Goes 6 innings in that game as well. Phillies offense just woke up in the later stages of the ball game and managed to get the job done, and the bullpen did the rest from there. It was basically just, I wouldn't say a carbon copy of tonight's game, because tonight's game, the Phillies scored 4 runs in the first inning. Then the offense went quiet. Then they got some insurance runs. The Rockies tried to creep back into it, but then Bryce Harper, in 2 nights in a row, shows us why the man is not human. What he is doing is defying the laws of physics, because this man comes back after missing 5 months with Tommy John surgery, comes back early, and this dude is not even skipping a beat. Last night with a huge double to score a couple of runs, and tonight with a huge insurance run, an insurance marker, a 2-run bomb in the top of the 9th inning. This ball was crushed, 110 off the bat. I'm like, my God. And then you see him in the dugout chirping back to what the fans were doing behind him at home plate or in the on-deck circle, something like that. He's telling them to fuck off or something like that. Bryce Harper just getting in the moment. I have no idea what happened in that instance, but still, it's Bryce Harper, man. He just showed up and did his thing, and it was just absolutely amazing. So, hey, the Phillies got 5 wins in a row so far. They've been playing a lot better baseball. They won the series already against Colorado. And, hey, why not? Why not try to sweep in the Mar with Nola on the bump? Why not? Why not? That is the key word, because this road trip out here on the West Coast, Colorado this weekend, you already won the series, 2 games so far, and you're going to have San Francisco Monday through Wednesday. So you might as well try to take advantage of teams that clearly you are better than, because, this could be a huge series, a huge stretch for you to build some confidence, get that record back above 500, which you did today. You're back to a game above 500, I believe. So, yeah, that's always good. So, steps in the right direction there, but try to improve that consistency. Starting pitching definitely has looked a lot better in recent games, especially, with Aaron Nola, Zack Wheeler, Taijuan Walker in his past few outings. So, keep trying to build off of that. That is the most important thing that you can do. Most important thing. Maybe for Ranger Suarez today, it was probably one of the worst case scenarios to come back into Colorado and Coors Field, in a ballpark where the ball just flies and it's offense galore. That was probably the worst possible place to get your first game back in after missing so many weeks. But hey, what are you going to do? It is what it is. He went out there, he battled, and he found a ways to get through some tough innings. You knew the pitch limit was going to be short. I believe it was around 75 to 80 pitches. He went 4 innings in this ball game. He probably could have gone deeper if he didn't get into as many jams, but it is what it is at this point. It's really tough to judge when you're playing in Coors Field, just because the drastic of the way the offense is impacted in that ballpark is just completely different from any other ballpark in Major League Baseball. Maybe besides that ballpark in Mexico City where the Giants and the Padres played and the ball was just flying all over the place. But still, I digress. I thought Ranger Suarez overall was pretty solid and is definitely going to be, once he gets fully stretched out over the next course of the next few weeks, he's going to be a very, very, very important addition to your starting rotation. Just to add the depth there, then you put Matt Strahm back into the bullpen where he looks, like he's going to dominate out of that situation, eat some good innings, maybe come in certain big, leverage spots. So that can be huge for this team. But hey, overall, I've been enjoying Phillies baseball a little bit. It's kind of tongue-tied and everything with the Sixers-Celtics series, so not many people are paying attention to it. And it also kind of sucks just because this weekend and then Monday through Wednesday, they're on the West Coast again. So it's kind of difficult just to get these recaps in because the games are so late. I was going to do today's recap just to get these first 2 games of this series in. Tomorrow, I'm probably not going to do that recap just because it's going to be tied right into Sixers-Celtics at 3:30. I might do a watch party again for that. Instead of just the second half, I might do it for the entire game, so you guys can join me for that. Hopefully, it'll be a fun time. It also just does suck, too, because it is on Mother's Day. A lot of people out there, having to, either do plans very early in the morning, afternoon, before the Sixers game. I know a lot of people are, going to be very nervous. Some moms are going to have to make some sacrifices, but that's what, they're there for. They made their sacrifices their entire life. And that's what we love them for. But overall, it's going to be a weird day tomorrow. Your Phillies played a lot better this, past couple of days, and I think that's the most important thing. So if we're looking at yesterday's ball game, Phillies won 6-3. Looking at the lineup, there was a lefty on the mound, so you didn't see Stott or Marsh in the lineup. Marsh eventually came in as a pinch hitter, but then you saw, Josh Harrison, you saw Dalton Guthrie in center field. So the lineup looked like Trey Turner, Alec Bohm in the 2-hole, which was very shocking. He got a home run last night, so that definitely gave him a little bit of confidence. Bryce Harper went 2 for 4. Nick Castellanos 0 for 4. Kyle Schwarber 1 for 4 with a 2-run shot. JT Realmuto, he left the game early yesterday. I believe it was a sprained pinky finger, so I'm not sure how long he's going to be out for. So Garrett Stubbs is most likely playing these next 2 games. I'm not sure if JT is going to be good to go for San Francisco. It's definitely just going to be a weird case scenario. He was trying to stretch a double into a triple, and he was thrown out. And then you saw his hand slid under the third base bag because the bag popped up as he slid into it, and you can tell something happened to his hand in that scenario. I'm not sure if he got it cut really badly, but it was like a sprained pinky finger or something like that. So hopefully he'll be fine. Definitely sucks because the injuries are just killing this team so far. The rest of the lineup, Stubbs came in. He got a hit in replacement for JT. Sosa went 0 for 4. Josh Harrison went 0 for 3. And Dalton Guthrie went 0 for 2. Brandon Marsh came in as a pinch hitter as well, went 0 for 1. Looking at the pitching staff, Taijuan Walker, he allowed 7 hits in the ball game, 3 earned runs, but I believe, no, actually those were a result of, not entirely sure. I think Taijuan Walker came out when he allowed those couple of base runners. I believe Matt Strahm was out there on the mound when those base runners were allowed. I could be wrong there, but who knows? Yeah, I think that was when Matt Strahm was on the mound, and he did allow those runs. So Taijuan Walker, he was credited with 6 innings, 7 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts on 73 pitches. Matt Strahm finished the rest of that 7th inning with a strikeout and a walk on 8 pitches. Sir Anthony Dominguez, 14 pitches, 1 strikeout, 1 hit, and then Craig Kimbrell struck out 3 in his 9th inning of work for the save. 21 pitches there, 1 hit allowed. Phillies, they were 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position. They got a lot of extra base hits. They got a couple of home runs from Schwarber and Alec Bohm. That also helps. Bryce Harper with a huge 2-run double later on in the ball game. Ball was crushed. It could have went out of the ballpark if it wasn't for that stupid fence out there in right field. But hey, you got to win, and that's all that matters. Won last night's ball game, and now you go to tonight's ball game. Phillies win 7-4. Looking at the pitching side, Ranger Suarez, he pitched 4 innings, 7 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts on 72 pitches, so a very similar stat line to Taijuan Walker, just besides the innings. Connor Brogdon, he pitched a huge 2 innings in relief from the 5th and the 6th, did not allow a single hit. He walked 1 batter, struck out 2 on 27 pitches. Andrew Bellotti came in, was a little bit off in command. He hasn't pitched in a few weeks in the major league level. Fastball was off all over the place, but he still managed to get 3 outs, struck out 2. The slider was nasty. all pitches, 27 pitches for 21 pitches for Bilotti. Hoffman comes in, and, he allowed a run, and that was mainly on the part of, Trey Turner being lazy at second base. Crone lined one over the second base. It would have been a very, very easy routine play for Trey Turner. I don't know what the hell happened in that situation. He just got lazy in that situation. So it became an unearned run. A double happened, and then a ground out scored the run. So it was an unearned run for Hoffman, but he got out of that situation without the ball game being tied. 2 strikeouts for him, 16 pitches. And then Gregory Soto came out for the 9th, only threw 10 pitches. Very solid stuff there from Soto. There was a bit of a scare out there because Rob Thompson and the trainer came out. I'm not sure if it was just like the situation. This is Soto's first time pitching in Coors Field, and the elevation and just the air was getting to him. It's it's first time. Maybe he just caught a weird wind there. So I'm not entirely sure. He was, he shook off Rob Thompson and the trainer, told him, I'm fine, go back to the dugout. And he pitched he looked fine the rest of the way. So I'm sure it was just, it's my first time pitching in Coors, and I'm not used to the elevation. It's probably one of those situations. Lineup today, Bryson Stott went 2 for 5. Trey Turner went over 3 with 2 walks, surprisingly, but the average is still going down for Trey Turner. 256 average, 307 on base, and a 402 slugging. Still going through the motions. I think still over the long haul, he'll be fine. He's way too good to struggle this much. Bryce Harper, he went 2 for 4 with the huge 2-run shot in the top of the 9th inning. 2 RBIs for him. He's got a 361 average, a 439 on base, and a 611 slugging. My God. Nick Castellanos, 3 for 4. There was a scary situation with Feltner. Nick Castellanos, I believe this was in the 2nd inning. He lined one right back at Feltner, went off of his head, and he had to leave the ball game. He was able to get up on his own power, but you could definitely tell he was in a lot of pain. Just a very scary situation, so hopefully everything is okay with Feltner. So, that was just a scary stuff there. Scary stuff to see. Rest of the lineup, Kyle Schwarber, he went 0 for 4 with a walk. Alec Bohm, 1 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Brandon Marsh, 0 for 3 with a walk. Cody Clemens, 2 for 4 in the 8th hole. And then Garrett Stubbs with a huge, insurance RBI as well in the 8th inning. 1 for 4 with an RBI. So that was huge. Phillies were 4 for 11 with runners in scoring position. So, hey, can't ask for too much there. Definitely cannot. Trying to see if there's anything else here in terms of, post-game stuff from the Phillies. Definitely can't ask for too more. Here's an update on Feltner. Bud Black with an update on Ryan Feltner. He's under observation at the local hospital and is undergoing a litany of exams. We'll know more in the morning. Oof. He's going to be staying overnight in the hospital. Damn, that's scary stuff. You can even tell from Castellanos' reaction. He was just gutted. It was just ugh, man. Feel bad for the guy. Feel bad. It was just an unlucky situation. Just comebacker right to the mound, goes right off of his head. Thank God he was able to get up on his own power, though, but still, that's a scary sight. That ball's hit any harder. Ugh. Don't want to imagine what would happen in that scenario. I believe the ball was 93 off the bat. Jeez. And that's hard enough. Can't imagine if the ball was hit any harder. But man, in terms of, getting off of that topic, hopefully everything will be okay with Feltner. Looking at some standings right here, because I did see something of an update on Twitter. So right now, the Phillies are actually 2nd place in the NL East, 5 games behind the Atlanta Braves. The Phillies are 20-19. The Mets, they are 19-20. They are 3-7 in their last 10 games. The Marlins are a game and a half behind the Phillies. They are 19-21. They're also 3-7 in their last 10 games. And the Braves, they're currently on a 3-game losing streak. They are 25-14. So, every other team right now is losing, and the Phillies are winning so far. So, hey, that's good to see. That's really good to see. Phillies are 5-5 in their last 10. They have won 5 games in a row. So keep it going, boys. Keep it going. Colorado Rockies, they're a team that you're clearly better than. So trying to keep those wins going. And then you're basically eventually going to be playing the San Francisco Giants, who are right now 17-22. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They're on a 2-game losing streak. So just keep, taking advantage of these teams that you're better than. Keep taking advantage. Keep taking advantage. That's all you can ask for. from your team. So, hey, got yourself a couple of good wins here. 5 in a row. You won the first 2 in Colorado. Why not try to go for the sweep tomorrow? Why not? In terms of the pitching matchup, that's going to be for tomorrow night's or tomorrow afternoon's game. Seriously, the games are at the same exact time. Sixers, I believe, are at 3:30, depending on, they're on ESPN, I'm assuming tomorrow, or TNT. So I would assume it's going to be ABC or ESPN, whatever it is. Then that game's going to be 3:30, then, with that broadcast, because for some reason it's always different with ESPN and TNT. TNT, the game starts immediately. ESPN, it starts like another 15 minutes after the game's originally supposed to start. So I hate that. So, going back to tomorrow's Phillies game, it's going to be Aaron Nola on the mound against Kyle Freeland. We know how much Kyle Freeland gives the Phillies issues, but hey, Aaron Nola has pitched better in his last couple of appearances, so just keep building off of that, even though Coors Field is definitely a terrible place to be if you are a pitcher in Major League Baseball. But try to go out there, get a sweep. Already won the series. Why not go and get a sweep? Why not? So, we don't have anything here on the Anytime Hotline, so let's get some of your comments right here, and then we'll end the stream off. It was going to be a quick hit regardless. Didn't want to keep you guys up completely late. I hate doing these streams so late at night on these West Coast games. It just ruins everything. It does. Remember last year when I decided to do a stream like at 2 in the morning after a Dodgers game? Thank God with this pitch clock, the games go a little bit quicker here, at least. So we got Sean Fitzpatrick in the comment section. How you doing, Sean? Braves lose, Marlins lose. Productive day for the Phillies. Hopefully Soto isn't hurt. Way too many injuries thus far. I think it was more on the line of his first time being in Coors Field and not being used to the altitude. I hope that's the case. Because, yeah, way too many injuries thus far because now JT's hurt. Alvarado's on the 15-day IL. Thank God it has nothing to do with Tommy John for him. It's just a 15-day IL stint and just waiting for that inflammation to go down. Firefighter says, feel bad for the Rockies starting pitcher. Yeah, Feltner, hopefully everything is okay with him. That was just a scary situation to see. It definitely was. Hopefully everything will be okay with him. So, I think that's going to do it for tonight, everybody. Quick hitter. Just going over these past 2 games here for the Phils, and then we're going to get right back into Sixers talk. I do eventually want to get into that Flyers talk with Keith Jones and everything like that. Them hiring the president too, so maybe I'll have something maybe at the beginning of the week during like this Phillies-Giants series because those games are going to be like around 10 o'clock at night. So maybe I'll do it like Monday or Tuesday. So definitely stay tuned for that. But for tomorrow's Sixers game, probably do another watch party. Watch it during the game. I'll have it up. Join me. We either celebrate a Sixers victory or we get pissed off again in another Sixers failure in the second round. It's going to be either or. So, stay tuned for that. But for now, don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. I'd like to see those as always. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to check out everything in the description down below. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. We just got over 700, and we've been steadily going up ever since. So let's get closer to 800, and then from there we get closer to 1,000. Join the TTP Sports family. I very much appreciate that. Also, use the code TTP Sports, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Use it for anything you can think of. Great deal. Don't pass it up. Thank you once again, everybody.